Okay, we're going to look at Aston Villa versus Arsenal. This is a Premier League fixture on Wednesday evening this week. I was talking about Aston Villa. I think it's balling up to go a bit wrong there. I mean, they've never been particularly happy with Alex McLeish. Poor results recently. I don't think they've won in 4 games. There's also a Darren Bent story. I mean, obviously he was injured for the Liverpool defeat at the weekend, but then he was pictured by a fan on Twitter out shopping during the game. And I'm not saying you can't shop while you're injured, but surely you should be watching the game. So 1 win in 5 games, and there's a few issues as well. So
yeah, well, I mean,
going wrong at Villa.
I think the Bent thing started. I think it shows a bit of lack of respect for your teammates. I think if you're injured, you sit there and watch it. Yeah, certainly. But we've mentioned it before, but they just looked so woeful against Liverpool. I mean, I've not seen a performance like it since they put one in a couple of weeks ago against Spurs. It was all over at 2-0, wasn't it? Yeah, insipid, dull. They just looked like they couldn't care less, and frankly, it was a bit of a disgrace. In fact, especially for your home fans as well. So,
but what in a way, what do they? When they appointed McLeish, obviously, I like to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I think he has got maybe a little bit of a hard time, but he didn't exactly set the world alight at Birmingham. He took them down, playing similarly, maybe not scoring too many goals. So.
Well, I don't. What they want from him and what the owners want is different things. So, I mean, they lost some really good players. Ashley Young stripped down, and so maybe they do have to be a bit more realistic with their expectations. They were top 6 club. They were finishing 6th under O'Neill, weren't they? So,
you mentioned expectations. I mean, I think they're only a point closer to Stoke in 8th than they are the bottom 3. So, it could go either way for them over Christmas.
Yeah, I think it will be a big period for them, as it is a big period for every club because there's so many games coming thick and fast. But just having watched them, I mean, with Arsenal to come, I mean, Arsenal obviously have a good side. They're just going to shut up shop again, surely. I can't see them getting anything this game.
Okay, so we'll talk about Arsenal. They took part in a great game against City. Sort of played well in times, and had to say it was a good game, but just fell short. Do you think that kind of sums up their season a little bit?
Well, not really. I mean, if you look at them, I think it was mentioned on the commentary during the game, if you look at the team that last went to Manchester United, obviously the 8-2 defeat, they just look so much more composed and compared. They look a completely different animal, and I think they've got to take credit for that, for coming back to Manchester against a team that's even more informed than United. And doing so well, and they could have taken some. I mean, we're going to, you don't know what way it could have gone, could have gone anyway. They have to take credit for that, and I think, despite that, I think they should take confidence from that.
And we've mentioned Robin van Persie every single time we talk about Arsenal, but rightly so, because he's been so influential. But they just need that support for him. I mean, he's got 15 goals. Next, we've got Arteta, Gervinho, and Vermaelen. We've got 3. Add another striker in there, even with 7 or 8, and they're in the top 4 where they need to be, or they want to be.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I remember thinking at the time when they bought a couple of substitutes, haven't really got that much on the bench if they need to change again. They bought Chamak on.
I forgot about him.
Exactly. They bought Miguel on after Giroud went off injured. I mean, and they've got Gervinho, who looks quite sharp, but not really scoring enough goals. He's going off to the African Cup of Nations on with Chamak, so they really do need someone else in January.
Okay, so we'll go through a prediction on Villa at home to Arsenal on Wednesday evening. I think midweek fixtures in the Premier League, they're quite rare, but when there is, I think there's goals, and I think there will be in this one. So I want to go for Villa 2, Arsenal 4.
Ooh, nice. I think it's going to be a drubbing. I think it's Arsenal 4-1.